Hey, heathens. I, I was thinking the other day about just the whole argument, atheist versus theist here on YouTube and elsewhere in the world. And something kind of struck me as odd. This fight had normally been played out by religious people, not atheist or any straight up and down pure non-believer, but just people who didn't believe in whatever religion was trying to spread itself. The fight has gone down, and one religious group would come into a territory trying to convince the other religious group that their God was real, and the opposing side's God was not real. This was normally, unfortunately, done so at the tip of a sword, and anyone who wasn't convinced of the argument was removed. That part doesn't happen as often anymore. We have the internet, books, TV shows, radio shows, podcasts, you name it. The discussion is out there, and no one is pointing a sword at anybody. So now, without that advantage, to where the God that would win the argument was the one with the best artillery, we see people turning to things that I am convinced they would not be convinced of otherwise. So I'm going to ask the question to any theists that are watching this video. Prove to me that the God that I hypothetically believe in isn't real. How would you do it? If I believed in a God that was not your own, how would you prove to me that my God isn't real? Would you attack my scripture? Would you try to prove me that the religious documents that I believe in aren't real? Would you ask for proof of my God? Would you ask for some sort of physical evidence left behind? Would you ask for some sort of an explanation of the beliefs that I have in my religion? And I don't care what that religion is. You can even go with a religion that's not real anymore. Prove to me that Zeus isn't real. Can you explain to me why that God is not real? Will you try to explain to me how static electricity works and that he's not actually throwing lightning down to the ground, and here's why lightning occurs, and you try and give me the scientific explanation? To which I would then reply, Zeus works in mysterious ways. Would you be convinced by that? Would you give in to that response to your argument? Of course you wouldn't. So do you see why I'm not convinced of yours? I get people here on YouTube trying constantly to convince me that their God is real and that I should have faith in their religion. Well, what if I asked you to have faith in Odin? All you have to do is have enough faith in Odin, and he will move in your life and show you that Valhalla is real. All you have to do is have enough faith, and you'll know that Ragnarok will occur. Do you really want to be on the wrong side of it? Do you really, isn't it better to believe than to not believe? All of the other bad arguments that get thrown out here. Do you see why we don't buy it now? So tell me, anybody, what argument do you have that some other religion could not throw back at you the exact same answers you throw back at me whenever I try to show you that I'm not convinced by your religion? Anything? I'd love to see some video responses on this from any religious person, whether you're Christian, Muslim, Hindu, pagan even. I don't care. Any religions out there. Try and convince me that your God is real by using any method that isn't countered by the exact same thing you would try and use against a God that I would hypothetically believe in. I don't think you can. And no, you can't use, well, more people believe in Christianity than any other. That's a logical fallacy and doesn't work. So can you do it? Can you present to me an argument for your religion that I could not counter with the exact same arguments that you would counter me with if I believed in a different God instead of no God at all? If you can't, then I suggest that you consider the old adage that atheists believe in one less God than you. So the same reason you don't believe in all those other gods, same reason I don't believe in your God, but in this case hypothetically believe in a different one, is the same reason I also now realistically don't believe in the hypothetical God either. And maybe then we can break this dialogue and get past some of these pointless arguments. Don't take my word for it. Think for yourself.